So for those of you that don't know, I'm Irish. So I watched Irish Wish, and I have some thoughts.
Wish to want something that cannot or probably will not happen. But what if it does?
First of all, there's absolutely no way in hell this video remains monetized. So if you are in a position to support the content, my website link is down below where you can buy me a coffee, buy merch, or sign up for a membership where I give exclusive content like merch discounts, digital downloads, extra videos, etc. Now, I watched Irish Wish, so you don't have to, but you might want to, because it's so bad, it's good. But that's not to take away from the fact that it's really, really bad though. We're introduced to the two main characters right off the bat at an event. It's a red carpet event for a book. Okay, sure. Lindsay's obviously the main character. It's very clear in this split second that she's in love with your man. But apparently nobody else in the whole film can tell that from start to finish. She loses her scarf in the door of the taxi, and this is important later. So to start off, we get to the red carpet and your man opens his mouth to talk. And what comes out is an abomination.
I would be nowhere without this amazing woman and brilliant writer in her own right, my book editor, Madeline Kelly.
God, Jesus, I'd be nowhere altogether without me writer. I want to punch that man so hard. Now, I'll just let you know right now, the accents are going to be a recurring theme in this whole thing. Because it seems to me that they got not a single Irish person to be in this film, and they actually, what they did was they got British people and Welsh people, as if those accents are the same. I mean, what the fuck? So here's where the mother comes in, right? And the mother's plot line in this whole film is baffling. There's no point her being in it. She's ringing her anyway on the phone, and the mother's ordering toilet paper online. Random.
I'm trying to order toilet paper online. The students keep stealing it out of the bathrooms.
Okay, let's keep going.
Gonna be late for your big night. It's bad time management, sweetheart.
Bad time management. How's your rosemary management? Stop it.
Oh, where's the scarf I gave you to wear?
Sorry, what fucking accent is that? This is going to keep happening.
I totally get if you never want to loan me anything ever again.
This is how the scarf is important. Because it was her friend's scarf. And that's how they tell you that these two women are very good friends of hers. They could have just said that. But no, we had to have the scarf debacle. So these two are in love now, which is great. Because it's two bad accents marrying each other. So hopefully we can get them off the market and out of my ear holes. Every film needs a montage.
I can't believe Paul and Emma are getting married.
The next major conflict in the plot is that Lindsay loses her bags at the airport. An airport in Ireland they went to that only has one baggage claim.
No Ubers in the area.
And I'll tell you exactly why, Miss Lohan, there was no Ubers. You're actually not allowed to drive Uber in Ireland. I do have to say though, because she's a knock, her being unable to get a taxi is actually pretty accurate. I'd say it was by accident, but it's not wrong. So then she hops on a bus from the 1940s. And so on this time travelling bus from the past, she meets a photographer.
You're a photographer?
I am.
A wildlife photographer.
A nature photographer.
When she gets to your man's house in Mayo, then it is a literal castle. I just want to take a second here to thank the sponsor of this video, ADHD Now. ADHD Now is an online ADHD diagnosis service. Those of you around for a little bit might remember that I once took an online ADHD test and passed it with flying colours. In a video that was unplanned today because I can't focus on anything else, ironically. I'm going to take an ADHD test. So when ADHD Now reached out and offered me a real consultation, I was like, yes. How it works is that you take an initial consultation to be assessed as to whether or not you exhibit enough symptoms of ADHD to be referred forward towards a diagnosis. I would probably say the inattentive might be most like me. Forgetting things, forgetting where you put stuff, finding it hard to organise yourself. Stuff like that. I suppose I just have to work around it. Yeah, just mostly creating systems to try and manage how forgetful I can be or how I can get distracted when I start one task and then go start another. Yes, I did also pass this test of flying colours. I have a lot of ADHD symptoms. Because the consultations are online, you can do it wherever and whenever suits you. Of the Irish population suffer from ADHD, so you are not alone. A friend of mine even came on my podcast before to share his story of what it was like being diagnosed with ADHD in his late 30s and what positive impact that diagnosis had on his life. So it's never too late to start the process.
If someone did see this and was like, oh, that actually sounds like that might open a door for me, because like it's like As I say, like the last 12 months have been like I've never been happier.
If you think you might have ADHD and you want to get a consultation, click the link down below in my description to get €15 off your first consultation.
I'm just gonna go for a walk.
On this walk, which is beautiful by the way, I don't know how they managed to film it with all this good weather. In fact, I'm totally convinced this is CGI, to be honest with you. So anyway, she finds a fairy tree. Now, fairy trees are a real thing. I don't think the showrunners on this film did a single bit of research about fairy trees. Fairy trees are a thing.
Hi, Mom.
FaceTime, I have to say, FaceTime really takes me out of films. The minute I see FaceTime in a film, I'm like, oh, I'm watching a film. I think it's rude in Ireland to FaceTime people. I've only ever seen someone FaceTime by accident. And St. Bridget shows up.
Was that a wish you were making?
Who is not a fairy, but yet can grant wishes at a fairy tree.
I don't believe in that kind of thing.
Well, then you've nothing to lose. Ah, come on, why not give it a go?
Go on. Go on. And so it's incredibly obvious what's going to happen here, but we'll just go with it. She wishes that she was marrying your man, and St. Bridget transports her to a different timeline. I have to say, she is so pretty in the shot.
That was a weird dream.
So after some hilarious interactions where she's clearly like struggling to realise that this is her new reality and she's now engaged to the guy, she figures it out.
I'm marrying Paul Kennedy.
Back to the accents. This man who has a begorrad bejesus Irish accent has a mother with an English accent.
Why can I not find a photographer for this wedding?
And the son has a Northern Irish accent.
The last 2 photographers you hired for our parties left in tears.
So suddenly then they need a photographer for the wedding. And I think you all see where this is going.
Little gift.
Yeah, we just give out St. Bridget's crosses in shops here. All year round. What's really weird about the whole St. Bridget storyline is that St. Bridget's following her around for the whole film, just like cackling in the distance. What are you doing, Bridget? Like, go home. So it had been previously established that the photographer was in Mayo to take photos of the sheep shearing festival. And of course now along here comes St. Bridget, dressed like an Egypt, to cancel the sheep shearing festival, so the photographer is suddenly available for the weekend.
Can't be joking. I was looking forward to that gig.
This fucking killed me right here, right? The sheep shearing festival. It's called the Ploughing Championships, and it's on in Laois, not Mayo, and you'll put some respect on its fucking name. And of course in this timeline she never met the photographer because she was never on the 1940s time travelling bus because her bags never get lost in Knock Airport. And so there has to be another contrived way in which she can meet this photographer. And what they went with was her running across the town square in a wedding dress, tripping and somersaulting head over heels onto his lap in the car.
Hello.
It's you.
Totally normal way to meet someone. She knows he's a wildlife photographer because she can remember being on the 1940s bus, but he obviously can't because his memory's been wiped. And she's like, you don't even do people shots, you're a wildlife photographer. And he's like, who the fuck are you?
James is not that kind of photographer.
How do you know that?
And then of course he says he'll do it and he's the photographer. And again of course there's a reason why they have to go take wedding photos with just the bride.
Where's Paul?
He's not coming.
I can't even remember the reason. I have to rewatch the film. But of course she has to go alone with the photographer. They go to the Cliffs of Moher, by the way, right? Which is not close. It's not even in Mayo. The best thing about that is that at the very end of the film, spoiler alert, they walk to the Cliffs of Moher. They just up and walk from Castlebar to County Clare. Of course, everything has conspired that they can't go home. Their fucking car's broken down. It's wet. It's windy. Whatever it is.
You know what they say about Ireland? If you don't like the weather, just wait 5 minutes.
I'll give you that. That one's actually really funny and pretty accurate. So then they go into this Irish pub, and this Irish pub is offensive for a lot of reasons. The first being that it's way too bright. Way too bright in there to be an Irish pub. The second being that he is clearly served a pint of Guinness that someone has already drank from. And so they have to spend the night away from the mansion with her husband-to-be in it, and they barely get home in time to do a vow practice. Listen, I didn't have a religious ceremony, so if that's a thing that we do here, I don't know. So throughout the course of this film then, it becomes really apparent that these two are not made for each other. They don't know anything about each other. He thinks her favourite author is Charles Dickens.
Her favourite author is Charles Dickens.
When it's so clearly James Joyce. And even the photographer she met 5 minutes ago knows it.
Joyce is my favourite author.
So I have to say, it took her longer than I thought it was going to take her to figure out she doesn't like the man.
Maddie doesn't know how to dance, do you?
What a cunt. And one of the most unbelievable plot points in this whole film from start to finish is the fact that these two never kiss. They never kiss. They're meant to be getting married and they never kiss. And then it's very obvious who she turns to after she realises she doesn't like the guy she has to marry now, and she's talking to the photographer. But the fight that she has with the photographer here feels really forced.
Marrying Paul is my wish come true.
Okay. Then why are you so sad?
Oh, boom. Mic drop. He's got you there, bitch. Epic music rolls in and he hits you with the walk away as well. Oh my God, I'm going to need a minute.
James, stop!
He's like, bye, bitch. And she's like, I'm going to chase you and I'm going to kiss you. It's very forced. It feels very forced at this point. And I feel like you're going to say, well, isn't the whole thing forced? And yeah, I guess you'd be right. She's going chasing down St. Bridget there now because she wants to get back into the right timeline so she can ride the photographer without guilt, which she does.
James? Oh, sorry.
It has come out over the course of this film as well that actually she didn't edit your man's book. She wrote your man's book and he took credit for it. And so at the very end here, he asks her, oh, will you write my next book with me? Blah, blah. And she's like,
am I gonna get co-writing credit?
And he's like,
Madam, that's not how it works.
and she's like, well, I'm going to write my own story. Girl power, and then girl bosses off into the sun. Yeah, I don't know what I was meant to take from this film, to be honest with you. I'm sure there's a lesson in there somewhere. Maybe don't wish for things at fairy trees. Don't trust St. Bridget. I'm not sure who the target audience was for this. It has to be Americans, doesn't it? All the Irish people watching it are incensed. Maybe it's for fans of Lindsay Lohan as well. All I know is that I'm very happy for Lindsay Lohan on her comeback. Her Christmas film thing she did before was also so bad it was good, and I'm very happy for her. That being said, the accents in this were terrible, and I just want to talk to the writers and the producers and the set designers and the costume department. I just want to talk. We got through that together. We're now bonded for life. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I shall see you in the next one. Slán slán.